A white sedan rolls into a quiet gas station in Angleton, Texas. The cameras catch it all. A woman steps out, calm, almost peaceful. She pumps $56 of gas, glancing at her phone. But inside that car, 4 children lie motionless. Some are already covered with white sheets. Moments later, she dials 911. "I need you to come here," she tells the dispatcher.
We need multiple ambulances.
That woman was Oninda Romulus, known online as Nina the CEO, a mother of 5, influencer, tax preparer, and once a reality TV guest on Paternity Court. Just days earlier, her Instagram caption read, "Mama gotta have a life too. You're not a bad bee if you're a terrible mother, F them kids." Now, she's the one calling the police, admitting she shot all 4 of her children because, in her mind, they were possessed and plotting to kill her first. So who was Nina the CEO? A hustler who built her brand on luxury and success? Or a mother slowly unraveling under the weight of lies, mental breakdown, and guilt? Today, we'll uncover the double life of Oninda Romulus, from paternity court fame to alleged tax fraud, from luxury posts to cryptic warnings, and the chilling 72 hours that ended in one of Texas's most disturbing crimes. Because sometimes, the most dangerous battles are the ones fought inside the mind. Welcome to True Crime Anatomy. To our subscribers, thank you for the support so far. May your families stay safe wherever they are. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. We don't just repeat what you've already heard on the news. We bring you the parts the media never reported. Now, let's get into this case. Let's talk about the children. Ocario Covington, 13 years old, the oldest. The boy from that paternity court episode who grew up never knowing his real father. He was the one who always waved at neighbors when he walked by. Amora Chappelle, 3 years old, still a toddler. The youngest of the 4 who were in that car. Then there's Kylie, 9, and Traviel, 8. Brother and sister. The 2 who would survive what happened that morning. But here's something most people don't know. There was a 5th child, a teenage son, around 17 years old. He wasn't in the car that night. His name hasn't appeared in any public records. Where he was, where he is now, nobody's saying. The family had just moved to Porter, Texas, a quiet suburb north of Houston. They'd only been there a few months. Neighbors barely knew them. Normal kids, school in the morning, homework in the afternoon, the kind of childhood that blends into every other house on the block. But there was something the neighbors didn't know. Child Protective Services had been involved with the family before. The details are sealed, kept confidential by law. All we know is that this wasn't the first time someone had looked into what was happening in that home. Now let's rewind. Let's talk about Oninda Romulus before she became Nina the CEO. She was born in Miami, Florida. At some point, she moved to Atlanta, Georgia, trying to build something for herself. She enrolled at Georgia Perimeter College, studying political science. She worked a lot. McDonald's cashier, package handler at UPS, certified nursing assistant at Sadie G. Mays Rehabilitation Center. She was grinding, trying to make it work. Then, in 2022, she found herself on national television. Paternity Court, a reality show where parents sort out messy family situations in front of a judge. Oninda walked in with her 10-month-old son and 2 men. Jeremy Covington and Dwayne Seymour. Both claimed they could be the father. The DNA results came back. Neither of them was. The judge looked straight at the camera and said what everyone was thinking. Men lie, women lie. DNA? It doesn't lie. But here's the thing. Jeremy didn't walk away. Even after finding out the baby wasn't his, he stuck around. He helped out financially. He took the boy in for weeks at a time. He wanted to be in Ocario's life. Whether that continued as the years went on, we don't know. What we do know is that Oninda moved on. She started a new relationship, had 2 more children. Things seemed to be settling. Then her boyfriend was arrested, charged with murder, convicted, sent to prison. And just like that, Oninda was a single mother again. 4 kids, no partner, no backup. In 2022, a crack appeared, Fayette County, Georgia. She was pulled over, charged with driving under the influence of drugs, failure to maintain her lane, possession of marijuana. She pled guilty to the DUI. The other charges were dropped. She paid her fines, moved on. That's when the transformation happened. She stopped being Oninda the struggling single mom and became Nina the CEO. Tax preparer. Business owner, social media personality, the woman who posted photos of designer handbags, luxury purchases, stacks of cash. She built an image and people bought it. But what no one realized yet was that the foundation of that image was about to crack. By the time Oninda launched Nina the CEO, she wasn't just a tax preparer. She was a brand. Her services, tax planning, audit assistance, tax problem resolution. She marketed herself as the person who could get you out of trouble with the IRS, get you that refund, make your financial problems disappear. And the money came in, fast. Designer bags, luxury items, new clothes, new car. She posted it all. Her followers watched her transform from someone barely scraping by to someone living the life they wanted. Boss babe, self-made, hustler. The comments poured in. Women looked up to her. They wanted what she had. But here's what they didn't see. After the shooting, when investigators looked into her business, they found something. The tax services she was running? Allegedly fraudulent. The refunds she was getting people? Built on false claims, fake deductions, paperwork that didn't add up. She wasn't just bending the rules, she was breaking them.
Saturday, Montgomery and Brazoria County Sheriff's detectives found evidence of criminal activity unrelated to the child shootings. They seized dozens of Social Security cards, credit cards, and identification cards. Some identification cards had photographs of Oninda Romulus with names of different individuals, the search warrant affidavit says. The counterfeit identification documents were in various states of manufacture, bearing different names, states, and photographs. The search warrant also shows they seized this Tesla in the driveway to analyze it.
And the money she flaunted online, it came from a scheme that was always going to collapse. Think about that. 4 children at home, a business built on fraud, and the constant pressure to keep posting, keep smiling, keep pretending everything was perfect. Oh, and one more thing, she tried to start a rap career on the side. Posted videos, wrote lyrics. It didn't take off, but it showed something. She was looking for any way out of the life she was living. Now we get to the final week, the one that ends with 4 children shot in a car at a gas station. And here's the terrifying part. She documented it. All of it. On Instagram, Sunday, late September 2025, she posts a photo from dinner. The caption reads, "This Sunday, dinner was different. I didn't have much energy. I felt all over the place, but as a mother, I still had to get it together." Her followers see it. They think it's relatable. Every mom feels exhausted sometimes. They leave comments, heart emojis. "You got this, queen. Take care of yourself." Nobody realizes what's actually happening. A few days later, another post. This one's different. The tone shifts. "This past week, the devil has sent his minions to irritate and annoy me. I'm just glad I ignored them because the way I'm heading, it's jail or hell." Jail or hell. She wrote that, put it online for everyone to see. Again, the comments roll in. "Girls, same. Don't let them get to you. Take a break, sis." Her friends think she's being dramatic, venting. They tell her to take time for herself, maybe go out, relax. But she's not venting. She's warning them. October 1st, 2025, 3 days before the shooting, a video appears on her Instagram. The caption, "Mama gotta have a life too." In the description, she writes something that will later be used as evidence in court, because what it really does. You're not a bad bee if you're a terrible mother. To all my mommy-anas handling biz and did handle biz this week, baby, go to happy hour. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. She typed it out, posted it, sent it to thousands of people. Was it a joke? Dark humor? A mother at her breaking point making an inappropriate comment online? Or was it something else? A confession hidden in plain sight? A manifesto disguised as a meme? Because 3 days later, 4 of those kids would be shot. October 1st through October 3rd. We don't know everything that happened during those 72 hours, but we know some things. The business pressures were getting worse. Investigators would later piece together that the fraud was catching up to her. Someone was going to notice. Someone was going to ask questions. Her paranoia was growing. She kept posting about the devil and his minions. She was convinced people were after her. But here's the thing. Her neighbors saw nothing. She wasn't screaming, wasn't causing a scene. She kept it together in public. And that mysterious 17-year-old son? The one who wasn't in the car? Where was he during all of this? Was he already staying somewhere else? Did he leave? Did she send him away? We still don't know. What we do know is that somewhere between those Instagram posts and the morning of October 4th, something changed in her mind. It wasn't the devil's minions anymore. It was her children. October 3rd turns into October 4th, 2025. Inside the home in Porter, Texas, something happens. We don't know exactly what. No neighbors heard shouting. No one called the police. Whatever took place behind those walls stayed hidden. But at some point in the early morning hours, Oninda Romulus loads 4 of her children into her white sedan. Ocario, 13, sits in the front passenger seat. Amora, 3, climbs into the back. So do Kylie, 9, and Traviel, 8. The 17-year-old isn't there. He's somewhere else. We still don't know where. She starts the car, pulls out of the driveway, and begins driving south from Montgomery County to Brazoria County, over 30 miles. Highways, back roads, streetlights passing overhead. No one has answered that question yet. At 4:48 a.m., a white sedan pulls into the Shell gas station on Highway 288 in Angleton, Texas. The camera shows a woman stepping out, calm and quiet. It's 31-year-old Oninda Romulus. She slides her card, starts pumping gas, and scrolls on her phone as the numbers climb. Inside the car sit her 4 children. They look asleep. The windows are foggy. When she finishes, she puts the nozzle back and stands still for a few seconds, staring into the car. Not moving, not speaking. Then she opens the door, gets in, and locks it. Moments later, sharp gunshots break the silence. 1, 2, 3, then more. People nearby hear the noise but don't understand what's happening. Inside that white car, a mother has just turned the gun on her own children. Ocario is shot in the head. He's in the front seat. There's no chance for him to run. No time to react. In the back, the 3 younger children are hit. Amora, the 3-year-old, takes fatal wounds. Kylie, 9 years old, is shot in the side and arm. Traviel, 8, is shot in the arm. Then she makes another call. This time, it's 911. "I need you to come here," she says. She doesn't sound frantic. She doesn't scream. She just asks them to come. And then she waits. The Brazoria County Sheriff's Office gets the call at 4:48 a.m. A woman at a gas station on Highway 288 needs help. That's all the dispatcher knows. Could be a breakdown, could be an accident, could be nothing. Deputies respond. When they pull up to the Oasis station, they see the white sedan, engine still running, all the doors open. They approach carefully, and then they see him. Ocario, 13 years old, slumped in the front passenger seat, lifeless. A gunshot wound to the head. In the back seat, 3 more children. 2 of them are still breathing. Barely. Kylie and Traviel covered in blood, wounds to their arms and torso. And then there's Amora, 3 years old. She's not moving. Some of the children are covered with a white sheet. Someone placed it over them. Sheriff Bo Stallman would later call it an unthinkable, unimaginable tragedy. But at that moment, there's no time to process. The deputies move fast. CPR. Pressure on the wounds. Radios crackling. They're calling for backup, calling for life flight.
We need multiple ambulances.
2 helicopters are dispatched. Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston. Critical care. Within minutes, Kylie and Traviel are airlifted out. They're alive. Barely stable, but alive. Ocario and Amora are pronounced dead at the scene. The sheriff's office would later say that the deputies' actions saved at least 1 child's life. Maybe both of the survivors, but 2 were already gone. And then there's Oninda. She's still at the gas station, standing near the car, watching. The deputies approach her. She's alert, she's aware, she's not crying, she's not running. But when they try to talk to her, she's not making sense. That's how they describe it later. She doesn't resist, doesn't argue. She lets them put her in handcuffs. She gets into the patrol car without a word. And as the sun starts to rise over Brazoria County, Oninda Romulus is transported to the sheriff's office, not as a witness, as a suspect. Brazoria County Sheriff's Office. Early Saturday morning. Oninda Romulus sits in an interrogation room. She's alert, she hasn't asked for a lawyer, but something's off. She keeps looking at the door, not casually, constantly, like she's expecting someone or something to come through it. The investigators notice she's not fully present, she's somewhere else in her mind. They start with the obvious question, "Why did you call 911? She stares at them, quiet for a moment, then she says, "I couldn't talk about it." They press her. "You called us? You're here now. What happened?" That's when she says it. Instead of them doing it to me, I'm gonna do it to them. The room goes still. Do what? The investigator asks. She looks him in the eye. Kill them all. No hesitation, no emotion, just those 3 words. But it gets worse. They ask her again about the 911 call. She shakes her head. I didn't call 911, she says. I called the devil. The investigators exchange glances. This isn't a confession. This is something else entirely. She keeps talking. My children were with the devil. They're dead. Dead to me. Then she says something that will stay with everyone in that room. 'Cause you can't take me without me taking you. That's her logic. In her mind, her children weren't just misbehaving. They weren't just difficult. They were possessed, controlled, and they were coming for her. So she got to them first. While she's being questioned, other investigators are already moving. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office heads to her home in Porter. They execute a search warrant.
At first, the place looked normal. Kids' toys, school books, a few luxury bags on the shelf. But inside her office space, things didn't add up. Stacks of tax documents, fake business names, prepaid debit cards, and notebooks filled with other people's personal information. Investigators found computer files showing fake tax returns worth thousands of dollars, all sent to the same few bank accounts. The tax business that made her famous online wasn't real. It was a cover for a huge fraud scheme. What she showed the world as success was built on lies.
But it's enough to paint a picture of what her life looked like behind closed doors. The Instagram posts become evidence, not just the "fuck them kids" caption, but all of it. The exhaustion, the paranoia, the references to the devil and his minions. It's a digital trail of someone losing touch with reality. By Sunday, the charges are filed. 2 counts of murder, Ocario Covington and Amora Chapel. 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Kylie and Traviel, the survivors. Her bond is set at $14 million, $5 million for each murder charge, $2 million for each assault charge. And there's talk of more charges coming, federal charges, for the fraud. But even with all this evidence, questions remain. Why did she drive to Brazoria County? Why not stay in Porter? Why that gas station specifically? And why call the police on herself? If she wanted to escape, why not just run? Where is the 17-year-old son? When did the delusion start? Was it recent? Or had she been hearing voices, seeing threats for months, maybe years? And here's the hardest question of all. Could anyone have stopped this? Kylie and Traviel, 9 and 8 years old. They survived the shooting. They're airlifted to Memorial Hermann Hospital in critical condition. Doctors work through the weekend, surgery, blood transfusions, round-the-clock care. By the following week, they're stable, and eventually, they're released. Those scars will fade, but the psychological damage? That's a different story. Will they remember what happened? Will they remember their mother pulling the trigger? Will they remember Ocario slumped in the front seat, Amora bleeding beside them? And if they do remember, will they be asked to testify? Those are questions no one wants to answer yet. In Brazoria County, the community is shaken. Across the country, family members are speaking out. Oninda's father, back in Georgia, tells reporters, "The family is shocked. We don't understand." Another person posted, "Everyone keeps talking about it without knowing." I truly believe this girl had a mental breakdown, a manic episode or some sort. It's just really sad because when she comes back to reality and realizes what she thought was real really wasn't, she's gonna never be the same. Everyone lost in this situation. Her kid's life, her other 2, and even her. I'm praying for you, Nina. I hate your kids, lost their life behind the spiritual warfare we are in that's been heavy on me all day at work. Let's talk about what this case really shows us. Mental health. Oninda's Instagram posts weren't just venting, they were warnings. She talked about the devil and his minions. She said she was heading toward jail or hell. She wrote, "Fuck them kids," 3 days before shooting them. Those weren't jokes. They were cries for help disguised as captions. Filicide. That's the term for when a parent kills their child. And studies show that when mothers commit filicide, it's often linked to psychosis. Delusions, a complete break from reality. That's what we're seeing here. She believed her children were possessed. She believed they're going to kill her. So she acted first. But here's the terrifying part. Thousands of people saw those posts. Friends, family, followers. And not one person called for a wellness check. Not one person reported concern. Why? because we've been trained to scroll past red flags. We see someone post "fuck them kids" and we laugh. We think it's a meme. Dark humor. Relatable mom content. We don't stop to ask, is this person okay? And then there's the financial pressure. The fraud was catching up to her. The IRS doesn't just go away. Someone was going to notice. Someone was going to investigate. Was this an escape plan? A way to end everything before the consequences caught up? Other cases have shown that when people face financial ruin, sometimes they take their families with them. Murder-suicide, family annihilation. But Oninda didn't kill herself. She called the police. She waited. She let herself be arrested. So what was the plan? And what about Child Protective Services? They'd been involved before, but the details are sealed. We don't know what they saw, what they investigated, what they cleared. Could they have predicted a psychotic break? Probably not. But could they have intervened earlier? That's the question people are asking. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. What would you have done if you'd seen those Instagram posts? Would you have scrolled past? Would you have laughed? Or would you have called someone? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever seen warning signs you didn't act on? How do we know when someone's venting versus when someone's in crisis? If this case affected you, share it. Talk about it. Because sometimes the most dangerous person is the one hiding in plain sight on your timeline. Tomorrow, we're covering another case that will leave you questioning everything. Until then, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, what people post online isn't always a joke. Sometimes it's the truth.